session. Currently, we will be discussing deflection of simply supported beams with point load and UDL. The last session, we have discussed derivation of simply supported beam, either if it is carrying point load or UDL. So, and a moment. In some practical cases, you might have combination of power, and you might have a point load and UDL number of point load, that is more than one. It might be 2 or 3. If there are combination of point load and UDL, how to tackle this? By using moment area theorem, how to arrive these values, so which we will discuss in today's class. Also, we are doing a good exercise, and for a civil engineer, if you want to become a better professional, you should know the theoretical approach on how to find the deflection and slope by using any method. So currently we are discussing moment area method, and if you also know the support of software, so whatever we are getting theoretically, let us cross check with the software answer. So in this problem what we are discussing today, we will be cross checking with the next class or the next session. Yes. So this will give you a complete comprehensive understanding about a structure. So here you have a simply supported beam here, and compute the slope and deflection at point A and at the midpoint E. So the midpoint is given as E. For the simply supported beam, the span of the beam is 1.8 meter and the beam is of 150 into 300 mm. So it is a concrete section. So by this Young's modulus, it will be around a concrete section. We can understand, and E is given as 30 kilonewton per mm square. Okay. So this is our given data, and a material is being given for a Young's modulus of 30 kilonewton per mm square, and 2 point loads are acting. In the earlier problem, we saw a single point load. If multiple point loads are acting, if 2 point loads are acting, then how we can identify the slope and deflection. So this is what we are going to discuss now. First, what you have to do is you have to find the vertical deviation of TBA at the support B. You have to find the vertical deviation due to this two loads. What will be the total deviation at the support B? So let us find that. If you want to find that, what you have to do is you have to draw the bending moment diagram. And for drawing the bending moment diagram, we only have two loads here. You have to find the reactions, that is RA and RB. So if you cut this beam into two halves, the beam is symmetrical. Hence you can understand that due to symmetry, the reactions will also be the same as the load, and RA will be 75 and RB will be 75. Okay. So after getting that, you have to find the bending moment. So let us take the bending moment at the point B. So I will be taking moment at point B. So you will be having RA into distance is 1.8. So if you multiply 75 into 1.8, you will be getting 135 by EI. So we will be writing in terms of EI here. So this will be the deflection, and hence we are writing in the terms of 135 divided by EI. So this bending is purely due to the reaction A, and the second bending is purely due to the first point load, and the third bending is purely due to the second load. And if you are having another load here, whatever might be the load, you have to draw extra bending moment. So this bending moment is only due to the reaction, and 75 into 0.9, you will be getting 67.5 EI. So at the point E and at the point B, you got the bending. Okay, so connect these lines and let us keep this diagram. And second diagram, what you have to do is the moment due to this load 75 with respect to point B, and 75 into the distance will be 1.2. So if you are multiplying, you will be getting 90 as the answer. So minus 90 by A. Why we are writing here in terms of negative is, since it is an anti-clockwise movement, so you will be getting negative movement. So it is mentioned as negative. So when you are taking reaction at RA, you will be getting positive movement. Hence both will be opposite. Okay. And at the point E, 75 into the distance will be 0.3. So 75 into 0.3 will be minus 22.5 divided by A. So you can connect this. So this is the moment due to the 75 kilonewton load, and the last load, which is 75 kilonewton at the point D. So load into 0.6, you will be getting 45 by EI. So for each and every diagram, let us make the centroid with respect to the point B. So if this is a triangle, you will be having 1/3 of the total distance. So the total distance is 1.8 divided by 3. That is the centroid. So the centroid is received as 0.6, and for this diagram 1/3 of 1.2. So you will be getting 0.4 meter, and distance is 0.6. So 1/3 of 0.6 will be 0.2 meter. So you have arrived all the centroid with respect to the point B. So currently we are finding vertical deviation, that is TBA. We will be taking moment with respect to the point B. So this is the bending area and area into this distance. So how to calculate area? Half BH. So 0.5 into the width is 1.8 and height is 135. So half BH into the centroid is 0.6 for the RA. So it is written here, and this area, the second triangle area, will be half 0.5 into 1.2, the distance into height will be 90, and it is written here into the centroid with respect to point B is 0.4, and likewise for the third bending moment, 0.5 into 0.6 into the height 45. So it is written here, and the centroid will be 0.2. Okay. So if you simplify this, you will be getting the vertical deviation as 48.6 by EI. So this is the total deviation. So you can see here, we have found out the distance of TBA. So this will be the total deflection between A and B with respect to the point B. So that is why with respect to point B, the total deflection is written. Okay, you found that the value is 48.6 EI. Okay, how to find theta? So if you have the distance here, so you know TBA here, and how to find the angle is you have to apply tan theta. So what is the formula for tan theta? Opposite by adjacent. So opposite side is TBA divided by adjacent will be the distance, and that is what we will be writing here. Tan theta we will be applying 48.6 by EI divided by 1.8. So it is written here, and the 1.8 is the distance. If there is any small deflection which is very negligible, so the theta will be same as the distance. Currently we have found the total vertical deviation at point B and the theta A. What we have to do is you need the deflection delta E. So we will be finding indirectly. So first we have found out the TBA. Next we will take the moment with respect to the point E. So the bending moment diagram which we got by using the loads, we will be taking moment with respect to the point E, and you will be getting this TEA with respect to the E when you are looking into the side A, this distance. So the total distance we will find, and we will subtract the TEA in order to find delta E. Now we got the theta A. The vertical deviation of TEA is obtained by taking moment of elastic load about the point E. So this is what the next point, we have to take moment at the point E. So what are the left hand side part? You have to see total deviation with respect to E when looking into the point E. So the bending area will be half BH. So half is 0.5 into breadth is 0.9 into 67.5. So half into 0.9 into 67.5. Your centroid will be 1/3 of breadth. So 1/3 into 0.9. So 1/3 into 0.9. So this will be one moment, and the second moment will be due to this load. And at the point E, if you are looking at left hand side, you will be having a smaller triangle, that is 1/2 into 0.3 into 22.5. So the same thing is written here. Into the centroid will be 1/3 of 0.3. So 1/3 of 0.3 is written here, and if you simplify, you will be getting TE by A. if you find the total deviation at E, how to find that? You know the angle. So this theta angle is already known, and if you multiply this theta into adjacent side, so you will be getting the total distance. So theta A is 27 by EI. So 27 by EI we already got this, and into 0.9. So the distance is 0.9 here. If you multiply, you will be getting the total distance from E up to the tangent at A. The total distance minus TEA. So what we got TEA as 8.775 by EI. After subtracting, you will be getting the remaining deflection, that is delta E as 15.525 by EI. So this will be the deflection. We have theta A for the total deviation, but if you need theta A with respect to the point at delta E, what you have to do is area of the bending moment. So the area of the bending moment is considered from the left hand side. So if you consider at the point E from the left, if you are considering, so this will be the total area. So due to the 75 kilonewton load, you are not having the area from point E. So the area of first bending moment will be half into 0.9 into 67.5 and half into 0.9 into 67.5 minus half into 0.3 into 22.5, and this will be the answer. So according to the theorem 1, if you take the area of the bending moment diagram divided by EI, you will be getting the theta, and the theorem 2 is you have to find the area of bending moment diagram into the centroidal distance. So you got the displacement and the theta here. So as you know, the EI is given. So we know that the Young's modulus is 30 kilonewton per mm square, and if you convert in terms of meter square, you have to multiply into 10 power 6. So 30 kilonewton per meter square you will be getting in terms of Young's modulus, and if you want to find the moment of inertia, the BD cube divided by 12. So breadth will be 150 mm. If you divide this by 1000, you will be getting in terms of meter. So 0.15 into 0.3 BD cube divided by 12. So depth will be 0.3, and if you multiply, you will be getting in terms of kilonewton meter square. So this will be the EI value. So if you divide this by 15.525, you will be getting the deflection as 1.53 mm. So this will be your deflection at the point E, and if you need theta, 27 divided by this value, and if you divide this, you will be getting in terms of radian. Note this, the theta A will be in terms of radians. And yes, let us come to the second problem. So what is the case when you have a UDL and a point load? So in the last problem you had 2 point loads. If you have a UDL and point load, how to find the deflection at the center? So this is what the question here. First you have to find the reactions, that is RA and RB. So for that, what you have to do, you can take sum of all upward and downward forces, that is VA and VB equal to 10. Your point load is acting at center point C, and 10 plus the total distance is 4 meter, 4 into 2, so that will be 8. So 10 plus 8 will be 18. So the total load will be 18. Since it is symmetry, if you cut this section into 2 halves, you will be having the same kind of loading. Hence, you can take 18 divided by 2 as the reaction. So it will be 9. So both the sides you will be having 9 kilonewton. After finding the reaction, what you have to do? You have to take each and every load and reactions, and you have to find the bending moment. So first let us take RA and find the bending moment for each and every force. So due to RA, the distance will be 4 here. So 9 into 4 will be 36. So this will be your bending moment at point B and at the center point. So you need bending moment at the center point, hence we will be taking load into this distance. So 9 into 2 will be 18. So at the center point you will be getting 18 by A. So this is the first area, and for the second load, let us consider this UDL, and if you take bending moment at point B, The bending moment formula is load into distance by 2. So load here is 2 into the total distance is 4, 2 into 4 by 2. So that will be 16. So if you take the moment, overall UDL moment will be 16. And if you take at the center, at the point C, you will be having half of the UDL, and 2 into the distance will be 2 into 2 by 2. So 2 into 2 will be 4, so you will be getting 4 EI. So this will be a curved parabola. Next thing, for bending moment due to point load, that is 10 kilonewton. So at point B, 10 into 2 will be 20. Okay. So at point C, you will be not having any moment. So you have drawn the 3 bending moment, and the next thing you have to find the centroid. So this will be 1/3 of B. The total base is 4 meter. So 4 by 3, which will be 1.33. And for the second diagram, hence it is a parabola. The first half will be 3/4 of B and 1/4 of base. So 1/4, the base is 4 meter, hence 4 by 4 will be 1. So since due to the point load, you will be having a triangle. So for a triangle, this distance is 1/3 of B. So 1/3, the base will be 2 meter here. From the center, the base distance is 2 meter. Okay, now you have drawn the centroid for all the bending moment. Now the same procedure, the procedure will not be changing, and you will be first finding the total deviation. So we will be finding TBA first, and next at the place where you need the deflection, you have to find the TCA next. So the TCA will be next, and you can subtract the total distance minus TCA, you will be getting delta C. So this will be the same procedure, and we will be finding the vertical deviation at point B. So this will be TBA, we will be identifying, and the area is half BH. Half into base is 4 meter and height is 36. Into the centroid is 1.33, and this will be positive, and these two items will be negative. And here, since it is a parabola, the area will be 1/3 into base is 4 meter and height is 16. So 1/3 of BH. And for the last triangle, half into base is 2 meter and height is 20. So you have multiplied, and the centroid is 0.67. So if you multiply, you will be getting 61.03. And if you divide by EI, you will be getting the total deviation. If you need theta, you have to divide this by the total distance. Our total distance is 4. You can divide this by 4, you will be getting 15.26. Okay, we have found out the total deviation. Now let us find the TCA, that is the next distance. So how to find this distance? You have to multiply the area of bending moment diagram in left hand side with its centroid. So from the point C, you will be taking the bending moment area. So half into the distance is 2 into the height is 18. So the area of this reaction is been found out, and the centroidal distance will be 1/3 of the distance is 2. So 1/3 into 2, so it will be 2/3. And this is a parabola. The formula is 1/3 of B into H. So 1/3 of breadth is 2 and height is 4. And the centroid will be acting at 1/4 of base. So 1/4 into base is 2 meter. So bending moment due to this point load, you will be having no load here. Hence, there will be no third parameter. And if you simplify, you will be getting 10.67 by EI. So we got the two answers. We got the total distance and the distance of TCA. We can find delta C. In order to find the total distance, you can multiply theta A into the distance. So theta A we already found out, that is 15.26. So we have found out here, into the distance is 2 meter. So this will be the total distance, and minus TCA, what we currently found out, that is 10.67 by A. So So if you subtract this, you will be getting delta C as 20 by EI. So this will be your deflection at the point C. And here the requirement is to find only the deflection. Hence we will stop here. If you need the theta by using only considering the area. So by using theorem 1, if you take this area, that is 1/3 of 2 into 4, which will be minus 1 by 2 into 2 into 18. So this will be your theta. If you divide by 3a, you will be getting the theta. Okay. There is a check here. So we already know the formula for finding the deflection and the slope. So the formula is for a simply supported beam carrying a UDL, you know the formula for deflection. By derivation, you can check the last lecture, and our formula is 5W L power 4 divided by 384 EI. And for a simply supported beam carrying a point load, this is the formula PL cube divided by 48 EI. So if you add this two, you will be getting, so due to this two load, you will be having a cumulative displacement. Hence, if you add this two, you will be getting the delta CS 20 by EI, which we got the same answer. So why can't we take only this formula and solve? So during your university questions, they will be asking solve the problem by using moment area method. So you have to find the moment and you have to find the area and you have to show that you know the procedure of calculating the deflection by using the moment area method. Hence for university questions, if they are in particular asking the procedure and finding the deflection of the beam, you have to follow this procedure. So this is a quick way of checking. So also for the theta, so we have the formula. If you substitute this, you will be getting 15.33. So you can cross check with the formulas. Okay, so this is a different type of problem when comparing to those two. In the previous problem, the case was symmetry. If you divide this section, you will be getting two halves and the reaction was easy, and the UDL and point load is also at the center and the problem was quite easy there. But for analysis, the UDL is for some half distance and at the other half distance you are having a point load. So this is a different problem. So how to find the deflection at C? Find the slope at A and the deflection at C. This is the requirement. In the beam as shown in figure, take EI as constant, adopt moment area method. So you have to find deflection at C. Here they have not asked the maximum bending moment. The thing is you need to find deflection at the center point. That's it. Okay. The procedure is first you have to find the reactions, and the second thing is you have to find the vertical deviation at the point B. So if you want to find that, you have to take separate forces and reaction. So you will be taking a reaction moment and a two force moment. So you are having two force and you have to take the two force moment. So the same way, let us proceed. So in order to find RA and RB, you have to take summation of V equal to 0, VA plus VB equal to 2 into 3, that is the intensity, which is 2 3s are 6, and you are having 9 kilonewton, which is 9. So totally 15 kilonewton, which is acting downward. And if you take moment at A, RB into distance will be 6 and it will be anti-clockwise, and minus RB into 6. 9 into the distance will be 4 here, and 9 into 4, which is clockwise. And for this UDL, load into distance by 2. So 2 into 3 into 3 by 2. This is the moment at the point A. So for all the load and reaction we have taken, and if you want VB, you can take remaining outside, and if you divide by 6, you will be getting VB as 7.5, and if you substitute VB here, you can find VA, and VA is also 7.5 kilonewton. Okay, after finding this, we have found the first thing and our reaction is known. Next thing, you have to find the deviation at the point B. 7.5 into the distance is 6. So you will be getting 45. And where you need deflection? At the point C. Hence you have to take another bending, that is 7.5 into 3, that will be 22.5. So you can connect this. This is the first bending moment, and bending moment due to the UDL. So load is 2 into 3 into distance is 3 by 2. So if you put 3 by 2, you will be getting up to point C. So you have to take moment at point B. So you have to add plus 3. So which you will be getting 4.5 meter. Okay. So 2 into 3 into 4.5, which will be the moment due to this UDL, and 9 into 2, which will be the moment. So 9 into 2 will be 18, and for this UDL, you will be getting 27 by EI as the answer. It will be a parabola here due to this UDL, and you have got all the 3 bending moment. The support bending moment is plus, and the remaining bending moment is in terms of negative. Next thing is you have to find the centroid. So this will be 1/3 of B. So the base is 6. So 1/3 of B will be 6 by 3 will be 2. Okay. So in the bending moment diagram, you will be having a parabola under the UDL, and after that you will be having a straight line. So when we are drawing bending moment diagram, so wherever you have UDL, so under that UDL point you will be having a parabola, and after that you will be having a straight line. So you can find the centroid of this small area, and you can find the distance. And for the next point, so up to this you can take it as a rectangle, and the remaining thing as a triangle. So you have to find the centroid from each and every section. So for this triangle, the base is 3 meter here. So 1/3 into 3. So it will be 1 meter. And for this rectangle, so B by 2. So the base is 3, and 3 by 2 will be 1.5. And for this section, so since it is a parabola, it will be 1/4 of the distance 3. So 1/4 of 3 plus the distance is 3 meter here. So 1/4 of 3 plus 3 is 3.75. Okay, we have found out the area and the centroid. So let us find the total deviation at TBA. If you want to find that area, that is half into breadth is 6 and height is 45. So half into 6 into 45 into the 2 minus, let us take each and every separate area. So for finding the parabolic area here, 1/3 of BH. So 1/3 of base is 3 and height is 9. So into the distance is 3.75 meter from the centroid, and it is written here. And for the second area, which is covered as P3, that is breadth into height. So breadth here is 3 and height here is 9. So 3 into 9 into the centroid is 1.5. And for the next area, you have to consider half into breadth is 3 and height is, so up to this you have considered, that is in 27, if you subtract 9 you will be getting 18. So remaining distance is 18. So 18 is written here into the distance 1. Okay, and the last bending moment area, so you will be half BH. So half into 2 into 18. So you have to simplify this, you will be getting 156.69 as the total deviation. So divided by EI. Okay, next thing is you have to find theta A. The same procedure, you have found out the TBA, and theta is found out by adjacent into the opposite. The distance what you got is 156.69, and this distance is 156.69 by EI, and the distance here is 6 meter. And if you divide by distance, you will be getting theta. So we have got theta A here, and how to find the remaining delta C? You have to find the small distance, that is TCA, by considering the area. So what is the area from A to C? So you have first areas half into 3 into 22.5. So half into 3 into 22.5 into the centroid will be 1/3 of base. So 3 by 3. and 3 by 3 is written here, and you have to subtract this is the area of 1/3 of base into height. So 1/3 of 3 into 9, it is written here, into the centroid will be 1/4 of base. So 1/4 of base is 3. So if you simplify, you will be getting 27. Since we got this TCA, so 27 by EI, so you can take 27 by EI and theta A into length. So theta A, what you got is 26.12 by EI into length will be 3 meter. So up to this point C is 3 meter length. So if you multiply and simplify, you will be getting delta CS 51.36 by EI. Now you got the centroid at the point C. Yes, we came to the end of the session. You know that whatever might be the loading, it might be point load or it might be UDL, at whatever the distance, it might be full distance and a quarter of a length for UDL. So it might be one point load or number of point load. What we concluded here is, so you have to take each and every support and load separately and find the bending moment, and after that you have to find the centroid for each and every support and the force. After that you can find the total deviation, and wherever you need the deflection, you have to find the total deviation at the particular point. So when getting these two total deviation, you can easily find the deflection at the point by indirect method. So I hope that this lecture have given you the understanding on the procedure of finding the deflection and slope for a simply supported beam. So in next session, we will be making a ETAM analysis for getting the software answers what we currently derive now. I hope you enjoyed this session. Happy learning.